1-point loss. At 4-9, the Sparks are one of 7 WNBA teams below 500. 3 HBCU baseball players were invited to this week's Major League Baseball Draft Combine in Phoenix. Infielder Juan Cruz of Alabama State, Florida A&M catcher Brody Popo, and Southern University outfielder Cardell Thibodeau. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews.
Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe.
Over the years, Lionel has catered most major Black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say them loud. roots am clear for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free.
Happy Juneteenth. Every man should be free. The work is not done here. Our work is not done here, but it's a day of celebration, a day of vacation for some of you guys. And there are parties, commemorations, parades, activities, juice, dominoes, picnics, barbecues happening all over the country. And so we are celebrating Juneteenth, doing what we always do, cracking the mic, talking about what's going on in the world and the country, and inviting you to express yourself, because that's part of freedom, right? And one of the things I love about this radio station, as we celebrate 4 years on the mic, is being unbossed, unbothered, unbought, right? Most of the radio stations and television stations in the country, I could never say the things I say on here, or talk the talk I talk on here, or show the attitude and the freedom that I have on this mic that Tavis Smiley has when he comes on every day after me, that Dr. Cornell West has on his show, and Nina Turner and Jesse Jackson Jr. has on his show, and D.L. Hughley. Why? Zoe Williams. I'm not leaving anybody out. Dr. Nee Corte, Dr. Sunshine. We got such a lineup. What talk radio station has a show by Black Lives Matter, the real Black Lives Matter grassroots every Saturday? That's the beauty of ownership. And that's, I believe, why the owner of this radio station launched on Juneteenth 2021, 4 years ago. We are celebrating our anniversary. Last night was the kickoff on C-SPAN. Tavis rocked the mic with an incredible panel of experts. Today is our Juneteenth barbecue, and you can still go. There's still enough space for you. You just have to register at KBLA1580.com. You can do it right now. It's free. It's free. And I'll be there. We'll break bread. We'll hang out. And then we have Saturday, 2 events. Empowerment Congress has an incredible convening, and I will be doing the State of Black Women in LA. I would love for you to come. 2 great panels full of Black women leaders. And then we'll have lunch together, we'll fellowship, and we are going to be the brain trust. Everyone's welcome, not just women and men. Every ethnicity, every region, every gender, not just women, men, and non-binary. Like, come as you are, come one, come all. We're building together. I wish I knew what it's like to be free, but we are building that freedom as we speak, and that's part of what we do around here. So I'm honored to be on the mic on this day. And welcoming in I told you I had a surprise for you guys. This is a surprise. She's a student. She's an organizer with many different projects, including the Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard. She has been selected recently for a Delta Sigma Theta 2025 Youth Recognition Award to be formally recognized at their convention next month. And she's got all kinds of awards and stuff for somebody that's just not even done with high school yet. Ayanna, welcome.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to see you. What made you decide, I'm going to be a youth organizer? A lot of kids, there are many young people who are involved in different causes and whatnot, but there are some that will rather just focus on shopping and video games. Of course, there's adults that do that too. So, what inspires you to be an activist?
What inspires me to be an activist, I feel, is my mother. She is a grand sort of person in my life that has influenced me to go out and speak on injustice in LA and in the world. And I feel like because of her, I've been able to open so many other doors that I connect with social justice and things that go on.
That's interesting. I mean, we could do worse, right? I was inspired by my mother as well and my father. And a lot of people were. I mean, Malcolm X, arguably inspired by his parents. His mother was an activist as well, and as was Dr. Martin Luther King's. I think we forget how many of our iconic leaders and boots on the ground organizers come from families of organizers. I always talk about children of the movement, and they're not all literally children. Some of them are old, some of them have passed on, but they started as children of the movement.
Right.
Because when you grow up with activist parents, and your mom is Sister Nzinga, who's also organizes with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, and actually has been with me to Africa a couple times.
Yes, ma'am.
You're exposed to stuff, right? I mean, it's not just in a book for you. You probably, I don't know, I'm guessing you grew up as a little kid at marches and picket lines and meetings.
Yes, I have. So I feel like I started Black Lives Matter. I started going to protests in early 2020, and that's when she had started.
How old are you now?
I'm 16.
So that means you were 11.
Yes. So
at the time.
Since I was 11, I've been out protesting, and depending on what the protest is, she'll take me, and I will learn, like you said, more things than I will in a book. So
yeah. Is there any? I mean, because we get inspiration from our parents, but we have to do the work. We have to show up. We're the ones that have to get out of bed, get dressed, go to the protests, or defend our position when our parents aren't there. Is there any part of it that touches you more personally?
I feel like something else that touches me more personally has been hearing from the families that their son, their daughter, their niece, their nephew has passed away due to police violence. And I feel like 2023, I feel like I went to Michigan, and I was a part of a youth leader project, and I heard from Sandra Bland's mother and father, and I heard of a lot of different people from them out their mouth that, their family member had passed away due to police violence, and it really touched me in that way. And I feel like that empowered me to speak out more and to go to protests, and it just encouraged me to continue what I'm doing.
It's interesting you say that, Ayanna, because I've been an activist my whole life, too. I was one of those kids like you that was taken to picket lines and meetings and protests since I can remember. But there is something about talking to the families that makes it more real, because they can't get their loved ones back. They're never coming back. And so many of the families speak on who that young person was, or the dad or uncle or whoever it was. And we're able to see a real person beyond whatever's written in the media or whatever they say on television.
Right.
And so many times the essence of who that person was is left out of the story until you talk to their family.
Exactly. And I feel like that is way more empowering than anything you can see or read. It's really touching to be able to go and touch their hand and be like, as much as I'm a stranger to you, I'm here for you, and I understand to a certain extent the situation that you're in.
Yeah, and then, I think it's beautiful that you do that, Ayanna. I'm sure that they take great comfort from the fact that there are young people doing things, getting active. I know some of the elders that I know always assume that young people don't care,
right,
that they're not involved, or that you are doing other things. Do you ever get pushback from your friends and peers, people your own age, that are like, why are you doing that?
I actually get the opposite. I feel like for me, my social activism isn't a secret, and speaking out against injustice isn't a secret. And I feel like that has actually had the opposite effect with my friends, because they've been more empowered and wanted to go to protests with me. The amount of asks from people that have been like, okay, so what is it like at a protest? Can I go next time? Like, it was just so intriguing to hear it, because I feel like I just overthink the process so much, where I'm like, okay, well, maybe they don't want to go, or maybe they think differently. And I feel like as a young person, ignore those thoughts. Ignore those negative thoughts that this can't happen, you can't do this. And it doesn't only apply to social injustice and protests. It involves your whole life.
And I should add, I mean, you mentioned your mom, but your dad is also an activist. You're surrounded, kind of like I was.
Yes.
And your dad is also connected with us at KBLA. Your dad, Gerard, makes sure that everything works. Make sure that y'all can call in if you want to, 800-920-1580. Make sure all of our computers and our tech is working. He's a tech guy, but he's also an activist in his own right. So you come by it honest. Are you teaching your little sister?
I am. I feel like just having, because I'm a middle child, I have an older sibling and I have a younger sibling. So seeing from my older sister how this process goes and then being able to take it from her and just learn from the situations that I encounter, I've also been able to influence my little sister to speak up against injustice and things that happen in our day-to-day lives that some people of her generation, kids of her generation, just tend to ignore.
Wait, is she a different generation than you?
Well, yeah.
Technically, you're Gen Z, she's Gen A or something like that.
Yeah, it kind of works in that manner, yeah.
Okay. Well, the surprise is when we come forward, Miss Ayanna is going to perform a piece that she has been actually doing, publicly doing, dedicating this piece to Juneteenth. You've won a couple of awards and recognitions. Now she's bringing you some inspiration for your Juneteenth morning. And you're invited in, by the way, always. We're just talking, 800-920-1580. Happy Juneteenth from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique Diprimaradio. DiPrima with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, as usual, the the conversation in the comments on YouTube is great, and you can find it at youtube.com, KBLA 1580. Please find us on all social media at KBLA 1580. I'm at diprimaradio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. E.C. Courtney says, Jumbo Queen, a beautiful representative for our young Black people, Imhotep. We're talking with young Ayanna. She is an organizer with Black Lives Matter Youth Vanguard, but also any number of other projects that she takes on. And they're giving you lots of love as we celebrate Juneteenth and the 4th anniversary of this radio station. So I saw you perform this piece that you're going to do right now, actually at the Black Lives Matter LA Center for Black Power, really? when they did the presentation, the People's Budget presentation. You performed in front of the mayor of our city.
Yes, I
Were you nervous?
I feel like I wasn't too nervous. I feel like once I get the mic in my hand and once I'm talking, I feel like I just can't really stop. And I'm pretty comfortable on the microphone. So once I got it, I just got into my rhythm and I did it.
Yeah, that's how I am. I can be shy in real life, but give me a microphone and an on-air light and all bets are off.
Yes.
You're kind of on a little tour with this thing now. It's taken on a life of its own, right?
Right, it is. So I began this piece. It's called Ode to Black Names by Ephraim Nehemiah. And I began this piece in, I feel like early this year, early 2025, maybe late 2024. And what I did with it was I performed at the Pan Pacific Park Black History Month sort of celebration. And I did it there. And one of the members of Tau organization, or Tau Omega Psi Phi, he was in the audience when I was doing it, and he mentioned to me, he was like, hey, there is a talent hunt contest, and I feel like you would be a great participant in it. So I was like, okay. So I went to Compton, and I represented Compton, and I won first place in Compton for...
Congrats.
Thank you, for Omega Psi Phi for the same piece. And I moved on to the district level where they were having a conference, and I performed there. I won first place again. So now here we are up. I won the second time in Detroit, Michigan, I was in Portland, Oregon. So now I'm moving on to Detroit, Michigan for the international meeting where I'm going to perform again. And it's kind of like a showcase with all the districts.
Congrats. That's awesome. And of course, you've got at least 2 performances today.
Yes, I do.
So are you thinking you might be an actor or a speechifier?
So,
what do you call that? An orator, we guess would be the correct word.
Yeah.
Or a politician or an actor or a community organizer or a rapper.
One of those things will work. I feel like I'll go into one of those. But I've been performing poetry since I was about 4 years old for the city of Cerritos. So I've been doing public speaking a lot, and I feel like I'm very confident and comfortable in where I'm at. So when I was in around middle school, I did theater. So I don't know.
So you
I've tapped into that area before.
How many minutes do we need for this piece?
About 4 or 5.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to do it until after news, traffic, and sports because we will run over into news, traffic, and sports. So I'll give folks a couple of updates, and if you want to chime in, you're welcome to do so, and then we'll hit the poem after news, traffic, and sports. Of course, you all are welcome in, and we appreciate you coming in. Like I said, before news, traffic, and sports, some folks are saying that Juneteenth is DEI, Ayanna, and corporations that used to sponsor Juneteenth parades and celebrations are backing off. Some cities are slicing budgets because they feel that diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are illegal. I have an issue with that because how is a celebration of the end of the enslavement of Black people, how is that diversity, equity, and inclusion? It's an historical commemoration of an actual fact of American history. It's the oldest regular celebration of the end of enslavement, and it obviously celebrates June 19th, 1865, the day that, Major General Granger rode into Galveston, Texas, and told some of the enslaved that now finally you will be able to take advantage of your freedom because the Union troops are here to push out the Confederate troops and allow you to have whatever freedom looks like in 1865 in the United States.
I feel like, could I compare that to almost 4th of July? Because it's a celebration of something that is pretty, I guess, controversial. And I feel like some people celebrate 4th of July, some people don't. Some Black people celebrate Juneteenth, some people don't. So I feel like it's kind of almost hypocrisy if you feel that Juneteenth is DEI, because, I mean, it's a celebration of something that I feel like is historical.
Yeah, and absolutely. I loved actually the July 4th comparison because they're not designating July 4th as DEI, even though it is a cultural celebration. The Defense Department has paused observances of what they call cultural or historical annual events because of the ban on DEI, but somehow July 4th has escaped that. So I think that's a very good comparison. And they said they're going to focus on proud warriors of history instead of their immutable characteristics, whatever that means. But I believe in intellectual pushback on this idea that Juneteenth is somehow DEI. Not that there's anything wrong with DEI, but how is history, diversity, equity, and inclusion? Either it happened or it didn't happen. And so some folks are pushing back, and maybe they'll use your argument as part of it, Ayanna, because more people are saying, hey, wait a minute. How is this DEI? Would if we had a Juneteenth celebration and invited a bunch of, I don't know, Asian people to participate because we felt we had to, not because we felt we wanted to, because all are welcome, by the way, to celebrate. That would be DEI. But Black people celebrating Black people not being enslaved or finding out that they would have the agency not to continue to act as enslaved persons, that's just history.
Right.
All right, we're going to get news, traffic, and sports right now. I'm welcoming you into the conversation, and we'll have the honor of hearing a little poetry to liven up your Juneteenth morning. All that is coming up on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. Chicago's Black mayor, Brandon Johnson, isn't backing down against threats that President Trump will target his city with militarized immigration enforcement. Johnson says Chicagoans, quote, have to go as far as necessary, end quote, to protect the Constitution.
Whether it's in the courts, whether it's in the streets, or it's with policy, we're going to continue to defend and stand up for working people.
The organizers of the No Kings protest say the next nationwide demonstration will take place on July 17th. More than 2,000 No Kings protests took place across the U.S. on Saturday, reportedly drawing millions of Americans to protest President Trump's Washington military parade. And today is Juneteenth. On this day back in 1865, more than 2,000 enslaved Black people in Texas found out that they were free. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Temecula Valley Balloon and Wine Music Festival by Events.com is happening June 20th through 22nd, featuring Walker Hayes, Cody Jinks, Alabama, Russell Dickerson, Midland, Big and Rich, and more. Get 3-day or single-day tickets now at TemeculaValleyFestival.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
We now know that Dodgers owner Mark Walter has no limits on his bank account. Walter paid $10 billion to buy the Lakers, the highest sales price in history for a U.S. sports franchise. The purchase ends a remarkable 46-year era for the Buss family. Jerry Buss bought the Lakers in 1979 for $67.5 million. The Lakers won 11 NBA championships for the Buss family. This year's NBA championship could be decided tonight. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals in Indianapolis. With a 3-2 lead, the Oklahoma City Thunder can claim their first NBA title with a win over the Indiana Pacers. 5:30 tip-off on ABC. The Angels beat the Yankees again in New York. They hung on for a 3-2 win. They can sweep the 4-game series with a win today in New York. The Dodgers got a game-winning homer from Will Smith in the bottom of the ninth to beat San Diego 4-3. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to play? Then jump into the LA 84 Foundation's free Playday Block Party, a community celebration for all ages, including live music, dancing, LA's pro sports teams, great local food trucks, plus special giveaways for you to take home. Enjoy an exciting, fun-filled day for the entire family. Join us Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 2141 West Adams Boulevard. To register, go to la84.org. We'll see you Saturday, June 28th at LA 84 Foundation's free Playday Block Party.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. That's 800-433-8909. Or simply visit godra.com.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. As we celebrate Juneteenth as big, bold, and bad as we want to, despite the pushback on Juneteenth from DEI. We'll talk more about that. But let's have some inspiration. Young Ayanna is here. She's on a bit of a poetry tour, including along with your sister, little Acacia.
Yes.
Will be on the Long Beach Aquarium Juneteenth program today.
Yes.
So
everybody come enjoy.
Yeah, that's at 1 o'clock at Honda Pacific Visions Theater, and it's that's part of the aquarium's programming. Okay, so let's let you introduce this piece, the award-winning performance. Ayanna now brings it here for you.
Okay, I feel like this piece will resonate with just about everybody who hears it. This is for Dara Lene, Latasha, Jamarion, anyone who was told their name is ghetto. I love our names. And not that I didn't hear what you said, so I'm going to give you that condescending, what was your mama thinking look and say, I love your name. Nah, I mean that real, honest love. See, our name defies an ocean that tried to wash us away. It proves you can take someone out of their home, but you can't take the home outside of them. So we gonna take pride in the fact that we never found our names on novelty racks on vacation trips. Because our name can't be fit into a box, or a license plate, or a Coca-Cola bottle. Nah, we too good for that anyway. See, I marvel at the way our name rolls off the tongue like smooth jazz from smoother lips. The way we throw in apostrophes and hyphens all over the place, places you ain't even think they could exist. Yeah. Adonai, Adasha, Adaquan, Adonasha, and Aquan. See, we do it like no one else can. You know why? We ain't gotta worry about what our name looks like on a job application. Because if they don't want to hire us, then they don't deserve our magic. Besides, we owners, not workers. We meant to run the world, not shuffle in it. And wolves don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. No, we wear wolves like a deity. We abolish the names they say we should have. We choose the ones we are destined with. Layana, Danisha, Rashane, you are the Alakabalimian, Nubian, Black African, melanated woman of divinity. And if we should be expected to learn how to say Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and Gyllenhaal, then we gonna make y'all take longer than the second it took to pass judgment to learn how to say Tasha Mari, Trevante, and Chantella, because our names carry the legacy of people whose worth was not concerned by some uncultured folks' ignorance. Nah, see, when oppression tried to come for us and erase our existence, we formed a new one. See, these names is birthed out of the same things that created dynasties. These names are a pharaoh queen, twisting the arms of gender roles into submission. Then the sun, shining on a rich queen carrying gold up an Ethiopian hill. This is the moon, glistening on a Dogon priestess dancing under Sigitolo. Our names is nothing to be ashamed of. Y'all not saying your names is something y'all should be ashamed of. So when someone asks us our name, we ain't gonna tell them no easy to pronounce version. We gonna make them say the whole thing. Nah, I ain't got no nickname. Nah, you can't shorten it to no letter. You gonna glorify this greatness, honor the sound of creativity, and we gonna keep loving our names just like we always love our name. Thank you.
I'm over here. Me and Miles are snapping. Congrats, Ayanna. I know you're touring with this. You're doing a great job with it. Well, do you think we'll see, more poetry from you, like a book or that kind of thing? Do you aspire to that?
I feel like poetry has really spoken to me, especially this piece, and it's easy to get carried away with it. And there's also been an artist that I heard, and he said you have to be obsessed with something to be able to really delve into it and get deep into it and really just be passionate about something. So I feel like my obsession has been poetry recently, and I've really just put myself into it. And once you put yourself out there and you put yourself into it, I feel like you can get very far in life with that.
No doubt, no doubt. Do you find that, as a young activist and organizer, and even though you go with the inspiration of your parents and the approval of your parents, unlike some young people who are fighting against their parents, I feel for many of the trans youth right now who, the Supreme Court just limited their right to care on yesterday, and some of them are activists because they have no choice,
right?
And their parents don't support them. You're coming from. And they're giving you love in the chat, saying that was fire, and they love to hear from you.
Thank you.
And yes, speak poet, yes, girlfriend, etc. Yeah, they're filling you, which is lovely. But in your case, you do have the support of both of your parents as an activist, and you mentioned that a lot of the young people that are your peers are actually looking to you, going, "Hey, what's it like to be at a protest? Hey, can I be down?" Which is kind of cool. Do you see a gap between the way your generation looks at protests and change to where your parents and their parents are?
Yes. So both of my parents are Caribbean immigrants, and I feel like they didn't grow up in the environment that I did. So they didn't grow up with protests and going and doing all these social injustices and all that. And I can relate to the people that their parents disagree with them with the whole you can't, you're protesting against them necessarily. So I feel like it's definitely different living and being with parents that are very passionate about social justice. And I feel like I take under my wing all my peers that don't really have that sort of environment, with them.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because also I hear from a lot of children of immigrants that they are bolder than their parents in their approach because there's not that feeling of, well, do I belong in this country or I'm a visitor.
Right. And I feel like a lot more people are very passionate about whatever they're protesting against. And with that passion, it takes you very far, as well as, it's very bold to go against your parents in the first place. So just to feel so passionate about what you believe in is very crucial to, I feel like, your character as well.
Yeah. One of the reasons I ask that, I always ask young people when they come, sometimes this is few and far between. It's hard to get somebody up at this hour in your age range to come and hang out with me.
Definitely was.
So I appreciate the effort. Is that I feel like there is some misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. The older Americans that I talk to, many of whom are the base audience of KBLA, a lot of people I talk to think young people are apathetic. Y'all don't care, not engaged. Or the other thing is they go too far. They're too Black Lives Matter-y. They're too impatient. And I just wonder how you perceive it. Do you perceive that the older generations don't care, or to taking our time-y?
I feel like as a young person being involved with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, I've been embraced almost. And to be a part of Youth Vanguard, it's just really been unique to being able to have that experience of being with other people with the same mindset, as well being social injustices. So it really just depends on the space that you're in and the way that you grew up, because with different perspectives you get different outcomes. And so for your follower base that's most likely listening, I feel like it's harder to gain the concept of, well, these kids are actually out there doing things if you're surrounded with the kids that aren't doing things.
Or no kids at all.
Right, exactly.
No kids at all. Or you're watching the kids on TV. How different are the young people in your life, the ones that you go to school with or, share a house with or whatever, compared to what you see on TV or the way young people are portrayed on socials?
I feel like social media is very fake, and it can be very deceiving. And I feel like don't believe everything you see on social media, obviously. And it definitely, whatever you get on social media pertains to your certain agenda, and whatever you have going on, that's what you're getting fed. So if you're in the ideology of, oh, well, these kids don't do anything, then what do you think is going to pop up on your
that's your media? Algorithm. You're locked into that algorithm. And I always say, if you're judging everything by the young people you see hanging out in front of the liquor store, you might not be getting a full picture, because the young people that are going to school in organizations, Black student unions, Youth Vanguard, they're busy.
Yeah.
Not hanging out all the time.
Exactly. So the people that you're encountering just by not trying to, you know what I mean? Those ones are more of, I feel like those people sculpt your mind in the way that, oh, kids don't do anything nowadays and they're lazier, because there are lazy children. Believe it or not.
Oh,
but
there's lazy grown folks too.
Exactly. So it's always two sides of the coin. So it feels it's just perspective at that point.
Is woke a bad word now? Is woke played out to you?
No, I feel like woke really speaks to me, because being with people my age and hearing the word woke, it's just like, wait, like you're with us here, like you're tapped into what I'm tapped into. So it just, I feel like hearing the word woke from people my age or even like you, I feel like I get excited because I'm like, well, I don't hear that very often is my thing. Like you may hear it every day, but I don't.
No, it's gotten less common because because I think as conservatives have co-opted it and tried to make it into a bad thing. They're on an anti-woke crusade because they want folks to go back to sleep and stop being conscious. That some people are afraid to say it now, or they think it's corny, or they think it's bad. And I'm with you, Ayanna. I'm like, yeah, I'm woke. What about it?
Right. I can speak on the censorship because I've seen through TikTok, I've seen how a journalist had got shot in one of the protests that was going on because they were recording and because they were doing what journalism is. And I feel like that just really spoke to me because it was so unfair and it was so unbelievable. You wouldn't believe that, but it happened. You can't. You know what I mean? It was just crazy.
You have to see it.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have to see it. And it's a good point, Ayanna, because we've got to learn. Obviously, you've already learned this, but some of us, some other folks are still learning that you cannot always believe the official story, whether that's coming from the police or whether it is coming from the media. We have to, if it sounds crazy, it's probably wrong. And even if it doesn't sound crazy, we need to check and double check. That's what media literacy is all about. Because when we run with the official story, then a week later we find out, oh wait, Walter Scott was shot in the back, and that's what the videotape shows. Even though, oh wait, Senator Padilla was just asking a quiet question, even though Kristi Noem said he lunged at her. When we repeat the talking points without doing our due diligence, looking at the videotape, applying logic, having the conversation with a witness, as you are in that case, then it's too easy for us to be bamboozled. So I hope that's catching on, that kind of thinking, not just with your generation, but with mine and all of the ones in between. We're celebrating Juneteenth. It's our 4th anniversary, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominic DiPrima when we come forward.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Every mother deserves a healthy and joyous pregnancy and birth, and every baby deserves to thrive. That's why the Los Angeles County Abundant Birth Project is here. The Abundant Birth Project is a guaranteed income program that provides cash during pregnancy to pregnant individuals at the highest risk of preterm and low birth rate babies. Although program enrollment has closed, our commitment to Black joy and thriving continues. Through tailored services that foster mental well-being and community-based resources, we provide care and support during pregnancy and after the baby is born to help build brighter futures for our families. Join us in celebrating abundant births in LA County. For more information, please visit abundantbirthproject.org. abundantbirthproject.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The conversation continues right now with Dominic DiPrima on First Things First.
Yeah, so we're commemorating our 4th anniversary. You know, you've heard us say it a million times. Go to KBLA1580.com if you want to party with us. Our barbecue is today, and we are collecting gift cards for the fire survivors of Altadena. Hey. So a restaurant or a grocery store of any size that you can bring it to our Juneteenth, and we will appreciate that. Our celebrations are free. So we were talking, Ayanna, young Ayanna's here. She just performed a poem for you. She's been giving me a little bit of youth perspective here on some of these issues. And we were talking about Juneteenth in the Trump era, and I was trying to figure out why he hasn't done an executive order to stop it. Akili was here, also from Black Lives Matter. He was talking about, saying, well, the day is young, it could still happen. But I was reading this, and I didn't realize that in 2020, when Trump was running for president, he pledged to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Really?
Yeah, it was in the fine print of a document from 2020 when he was trying to get Black voters to fall for him. I mean, vote for him. And so maybe it would seem too hypocritical even for him to get rid of something that he pledged to do in 2020.
I definitely believe it's very hypocritical because, I mean, just to get the vote, I feel like I can tell I can see the difference between the first time he ran for president in 2016 and then now that he's president again. He definitely has a different perspective on things and is very hypocritical with his actions because of he's already done this before. And I feel like that's what people running for president would not have that experience doing because they've already kind of had that mindset of this is what to do, this is what not to do. So that also taps into his experience of already being the president.
Right. So he has the knowledge. I mean, we know he didn't really think he was going to win the first time. Right. I know you roll your eyes because knowledge is really not a word we associate with Trump. I should say experience or whatever it is. He knows how to get what he wants.
Right.
So he's milking the presidency for money and rapidly changing rules. But it's funny because there was a memo that went out in the Justice Department sent out a memo on February 5th about their anti-DEI executive orders. And it specifically says it doesn't prohibit educational, cultural, or historical observances, just like Black History Month or International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So if you remember, I don't know if you were paying attention, not your job, it is my job. But the president, the MAGA people were kind of saying, down with Black History Month, and we're not going to do this. And then at the last minute, Trump pivoted and did a Black History Month thing at the White House. And it was very, weird. But now I see why. Apparently they added this as a footnote to this memo. By the way, we don't prohibit Black History Month or Holocaust Remembrance Day. And that's why he ended up commemorating it this year. So even though corporations are pulling back, they're pulling back their support, and there's a number of cities that have either canceled or shrunk their Juneteenth around DEI. I think we may have figured out why he hasn't attacked this yet.
Exactly. I feel like he doesn't really. It's a pretty controversial topic, but I feel like he doesn't really know much of what he's doing
at all in any area.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's not a hard conclusion to come to. I mean, I don't know. I think about the fact that this man says so many things that aren't true, and all the people around him, they prevaricate a lot, which is a nice way of saying lie. And I wonder about how that changes the way we view facts and the truth. This idea of alternative facts, or I can just say whatever I want to say to get to get my way legally or whatever. Do you think it changes the way we look at the truth?
Yeah, because of the censorship that this nation has gone through, I feel like people really just turn a blind eye to what the truth is. And because of how the media is getting more intentional with what they're trying to come out with, whether that be on Fox News, which is way different than any other news source. I feel like it definitely pushes a certain agenda of, well, I want you to think this way and you can't really do anything about it. And I feel like going back to what I saw with the news person getting shot that was recording, it just shows how this nation is going about free speech.
Yeah. So I think the solution to that is we have to seek out multiple sources and know the source. I mean, clearly that, or else believe your own eyes,
right,
which is another option. But I would add that 15% of organizations, meaning companies, schools, and other institutions, have said they're going to stop celebrating Juneteenth and any other what they're calling heritage or identity related events because of this DEI push. But what I don't think they noted in that survey from Paradigm is how many are adding it. Right. Just because we're like, oh, you say we can't, we're doubling it. Oh, you say we can't, we're going to do it our way. We don't need the feds to celebrate Juneteenth.
Exactly.
And it just so happens to be a holiday, so that makes it even easier.
Right. And I agree totally with that point. And I feel like it's definitely like people are either double down or they're scared and they're coming back. And
yeah. And it says some companies, this is from USA Today, some companies are focusing on what they call lower visibility activities, meaning we're putting Juneteenth in the closet for purposes of corporate convenience. But I don't think the community is taking it back into the closet.
Right. And they're not taking it very lightly at that. So
yeah. Just about a minute here. Ayanna, anything else you want to say?
I think I want to tag. Is it okay if I tag my social media?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think I speak out a lot against injustice, and I feel like if you guys ever want to, tap into that, you can go on my Instagram at that's Ayanna, except there's no A, THTS, period, AYANNA. So
that's Ayanna without the A in that. Yes. That's Ayanna on socials. Okay, I'll follow you. We're at KBLA 1580. Hopefully you know that by now. Hopefully you have the app already. If you don't, in honor of Juneteenth, download the doggone app. It's our 4th anniversary, and we want to stay here at least another 4. As you know, black and black-owned and independently owned media is more important now than ever.
Yes.
You can follow me at diprimaradio, DIPRIMA, and then Radio Miles is at Miles Low Music. Please like, subscribe, talk smack, engage. That's what we do. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's live and in person, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about his highly successful C-SPAN broadcast last night. What an incredible event to kick off our 4th anniversary. I like to keep the conversation going with you on socials. I also have my own YouTube channel. It's Diprima Radio, or Dominique B. Diprima, and the B is for Baraka. Y'all know that by now. We do have Freedman Friday tomorrow. We're going to have Dr. Joy DeGruy, post-traumatic slave syndrome. So, woo, that's going to be fire. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. Chicago's black mayor, Brandon Johnson, isn't backing down against threats that President Trump will target his city with militarized immigration enforcement. Johnson said